Hello, family. Welcome back to African Diaspora News Channel. I'm Wongel Zelalem, and today we have some great news. It's great news depending on who you are. If you are a person that cares about the future of Africa or the future of Africans, you'll be happy. But if you are not, and if you are, the West or some Western nations, you're not going to be very pleased about this news. So, we're going to get into it. I will just give a few of our viewers to join in because this is live. We wouldn't want them to miss this. I'm sorry if my voice is off. I have some, I don't know, whatever is going on. But I'm here because it's a good news and we need to talk about it, okay? As I said, it's a good news depending on who you are. I, for one, I'm happy about this. I'm hoping that this is going to open our eyes that it is possible. By it is possible, I mean the unity of Africans, and it's beautiful, if you ask me. But as I said, there's other parties that won't be happy about it. But just yeah, just for us, it's awesome. So the news that is coming out of the Sahel region, specifically Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, is that they have launched a force together, joint force, security force. They are calling it Sahel Regional Force, and in that force, they are going to be cooperating and working with one another in regards to surveillance, in regards to troops. Basically, they are coming together to defend one another, and that is beautiful for those of trolls, okay, for those trolls that are out there always telling us you guys cannot unite, you guys can't come together to save yourselves or to protect one another. Well, this is a great example. So, yeah, we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about what this will mean for that region, what it will mean for the neighboring countries, as well as what it will mean to Western nations and their foreign troops. We're going to get into it. Hi, Bibi. Bibi says we are FBA in Tanzania. Hope you're enjoying Tanzania. Hope all is well, and hope you also have a plan to visit other African countries. But feel free to tell us how it is uh, in Tanzania right now. From what I remember, a few weeks back there was a commotion, there was an issue. How is it now? Are you guys enjoying, Tanzania now that everything has settled down? Please let me know. Oh, Mimi Brow, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate it highly, highly, Mimi. Thank you. So yeah, let's get into it now that we have more people that have joined. EIO said, "Does China like it?" Well, at least they're acting like they like it. But let's get into it first. Before that, because I didn't even share what the topic is about. Well, I did. If you read the title and come here, so the three leaders, Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso, Assimi Goïta of Mali, and Abdourahmane of Niger, came together to create this force, this special force, a joint force. And in this force, and let me read for you verbatim, okay? According to reports, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger have officially launched a joint regional military force to fight insecurity in the Sahel region. The new force was unveiled at a ceremony held at an Air Force base in Bamako, the capital city of Mali, which I've been to, though I didn't experience a lot of Bamako. Yeah, beautiful people. Mali's military leader, General Assimi Goïta, led the ceremony, which brought together defense ministers from the three countries, as well as ambassadors and representatives of international organizations based in Mali. So the joint force the joint force is part of an effort by Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger to work more closely together on security and governance. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure if you're a watcher, an audience of African Diaspora News Channel, which I'm assuming you are because you're here live, we've talked about how Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger have all of them have kicked out foreign troops, and Some more than others hated it, especially the US hated it next to France. I would say France is the one that got hurt the most, but US as well, because they had one of their biggest base in Niger. And when they were kicked out, it's like they've invested billions of dollars in that. So when the US government found that out, it was a huge back and forth. And we've covered it extensively. I'm proud to say we talked about it a lot. And so after they kicked out, first thing they did was kick out foreign troops. They said, "Mm-mm, you're out." And it makes sense, to be honest. Like when you look at the data, right? The Macron tried to tell us, or his people, especially his people, because he was addressing his people, that the French troops sacrificed themselves, sacrificed their lives for these people, but these people are ungrateful, making it sound like the French troops were actually in those countries to help. Well, that was the claim, but when you look at the data, and according to people on the ground, ever since those troops came there, it was like, let's say 10 years ago, a decade, I believe they've been there, they have not helped the situation. They're there to help with terrorist groups, right? And those terrorist groups continue to multiply. So you're telling me you have superior intelligence, you have these troops that are supposed to train my people, my troops, and protect me and help me. You've been here 10 years plus, and the terrorist groups are not reducing, they're actually significantly increasing. So people are like, why are they here? Leave, pack up your bag and leave. And that was the situation that happened. So they were kicked out. There was a lot of back and forth, a lot, which I said we've been covering on most of the details, most of the stuff that has been going on. And now that they got rid of them in 2025, they are saying we're going to come together and have our own joint force. And this is the AES, right? In French, they say IES, I think. And in English, Sahel Alliance, right? So now they have added the force to it. So let's talk about what this means to these three countries. And I wrote my notes, so I don't want to forget. So the positive outcome from this unity is, number one, of course, they will reduce dependency of foreign troops. They will not need them as much, or hopefully permanently will not need them. That's that. But secondly, it's they get to protect their borders because they're coming together. It's not just one intelligence, it's the three of them together. So they share a border. Now they can work together to protect themselves. Back in the days, or up until this point, when an attack happens, what happens is, when they're being hunted down in Burkina Faso, they run away to Mali. When they're being hunted down in Mali, they run away to Niger, because they can move around. Now they can't move around easily if they are working together as a team. Like, consider it as if they're working as one country, because they'll be sharing intel, they'll be sharing troops, they'll be sharing intelligence. So that's gonna make life easier for them to trace those that are trying to go border to border and try have some bad intent, right? And also, when they're kicking out foreign troops, don't forget, the foreign troops, when they're coming to your countries, they have interests, their own interests. So at least in this moment, there will not be a conflict of interest. There will not be you do this for me and I will do that. Or at the best part is when they try to threaten them, because we see this all the time. They'll threaten them, we will pull out our troops and you're gonna suffer. Okay, it's not gonna happen here because they've already kicked them out. Haha, they beat you to it. So there's that as well. Another thing, as I said, since, like, when, let's say, US is sending its troops or France is sending their troops, they are coming with their own interests, right? And even they're accused of, and this I'm going to say allegedly, they're allegedly being accused of facilitating, protecting those that are illegally mining in those areas. Like, they are rich, as you know, that region is rich with minerals. So they lose a lot of money through illegal mining a lot of the times. And it's okay. The name they give it is that the terrorists are the ones doing this, right? But a lot most of the accounts allegedly from the people on the ground is that they see this military people protecting them, they see this military people facilitating it. That's what I mean by the people on the ground did not want foreign troops on their land because they did not think they were helping. If anything, they believed, I'm talking about them, they believed that these troops were actually there to facilitate for this illegal mining and illegal draining of the country, basically. And they protect those that were supposed to be taken out, because that's why they're there. They're there to protect the civilians, right? To protect and work with the government of that country. But that's not what's happening, according to the people. And so this is going to make them obviously stronger. This is going to bring them together. One versus three. You can't even compare because they're stronger together. And this is also going to impact other African countries because of whenever something happens somewhere, it's a ripple effect. Like it encourages others to also look at something that's working and think, huh, I can do that as well. It will motivate other Africans, other African countries. And this is a positive, a big, big positive, yes. Um, Another thing, they get to decide their priorities. Whenever they're dealing with foreign governments, it's their interest and then my interest, and how can we compromise and meet in the middle, right? So we rarely, most African countries rarely to prioritize what they should prioritize and what the local interest is, because again, there's interference. You're allowing another person in your home, and that person is usually not the quiet, silent, good guest that you would want them to be, because they believe that they come with money, they come with food in the fridge, they get to dictate you, and they get to tell you what to do, what not to do. And that will also significantly reduce, because they know what their issues are, they're in the same region, they're tackling the exact same group, it's just in different regions, so it's going to be easier for them to tackle them, right? So ideally that is going to be that is going to help them quite a lot. And what, yes, another point that I don't want to forget, sorry for my voice, not feeling well. So the other thing is equipment, right? They can share equipment. Now they're sharing troops, they're sharing surveillance. So all this combined is, there's no negative in this one, to be honest. And as I said earlier, it's going to be very difficult for those terrorists to move around from this border to this border, from this, like they can't be escaping and running around, because if you manage to leave this territory, someone else is waiting for you there, because they are communicating, they are sharing intel, and that is yeah, that is awesome, that is great. I mean, yeah, what else can I say about that? Another thing, that the positive side of it is faster. They can respond faster and quickly to threats. They don't have to make a call to France, they don't have to wait on this, on somebody to give the go ahead. They can quickly divert a threat or stop a threat from happening whenever there is information, because they, again, they are going to be communicating with one another. Another positive. Um, yeah, I pretty much, I think, said what I wanted to say, but I also want to emphasize, yes, it's ideal. I'm so glad they launched this. I'm so glad that they're working together. I'm so glad that they're showing us that it can be done. But we also have to, they have to really prioritize and focus on what needs to be done, and they don't get distracted, because they have to be disciplined. Imagine how much discipline it will take for them to accomplish this, because this is new to them. They have not done this before, and it is going to take quite a lot of discipline. It is going to take a lot of hard work, a lot of hard work, because they have to synchronize. They have to bring these troops from here, from Niger, from Mali, from Burkina Faso together to work together. As much as they're in the same region, they're their own people, and they have their own differences. They have their own uniqueness. So there has to be a strong integration process. And last but not least, they need to uh, work together to to build that trust with one another. uh, Most of the time these things fall apart because one person will betray another, or one person will, will not do their part, and one person might not do the right thing. All this can contribute, so they have to work hard, discipline, and let's not forget budget. Like, they will need to invest a lot of money, and as you know, foreign countries now, they don't want to help them because they're not happy with this. They're actually angry with what they're trying to do, because they want them to be dependent on them, so that whenever they want to, they can twist their arms and say, do this, or I'll do this, or how they do it with other countries. So there's a lot against them. So budgeting is a big thing. They will have to invest a lot. So funding is unfortunately, they need to figure it out. But from what we can see, they are, for the most part, making sure that they're getting what they're owed. Look at Mali. They just got 400 million. I don't know if they received it, but the mining company that, according to Mali, was stealing from them and not paying proper tax and stuff, they held their employees and said, we'll not let them go. They'll be detained until you pay us back. And I think they released them, and they were promised 400 million. If I'm not wrong in the number, someone correct me in the comment section. So they are also trying to nationalize their mining, industry. They are working hard at building up their economy. So if they get more money, that means they can spend more money in protection and security. So in a nutshell, they're doing great. We hope that they continue to do this and they do it the right way. And so far, so good. Honestly, so far, so good. In my opinion, they're doing great. And anything that makes the West angry, you're doing right. You're doing okay. That's my take on this. Oh, Keith Sain said, hi from Mali. Welcome, brother. It is wonderful to have you here. We're happy that you are here with us. And please feel free to tell us what your thoughts are about this special force, joint force, that your country and Burkina Faso and Niger signed off, launched. Let us know. I love your country, beautiful people and wonderful people. I had the pleasure to visit your country, and it was a great experience. So please let us know your thoughts on the new force. Hi, Susan. Welcome. Mimi is watching from Oakland. Awesome. Thank you, Mimi. Um, Bibi says, we have visited other countries. Myself, have visited 5, including Addis Ababa for some days. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad you did that. Whenever anybody from the diaspora asks for my advice, like, where should I move? Where should I go? Where should I visit? Especially, where should I move? I'm always like, you need to visit at least like 5 countries. Make sure that you see each country, which one is best suited for you, because Africa, as much as some people put us all together and say Africa, it's a continent. There are different countries, and within those different countries, there are different cultures, there's different ways of living, and you have to find the one that works best for you. So my advice is visit as many as you can, and then you can maybe decide on moving or having a holiday home. Yeah, so uh, beautiful to hear you've been to 5 African countries, and including Addis Ababa. Hopefully, you liked Addis Ababa too. There has been a lot of, um, let's call it renovation. I don't know what to call it, like beautification of Addis Ababa, the capital city. And yeah, it's looking beautiful. We just pray for peace and for our people to enjoy that beauty. That's the hope, right? Um, Era, I can't. I think RNTV. That's how it's written. I can't read it very well. Sorry. They said they launched the FUAES task force, which includes troops from Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. Correct. That is what they have done, and we're very proud of them. Honestly, they are doing a great job. And I remember when I visited Mali, seeing all over you, wherever you go, like all over the place, you'll see a billboard or a picture or something put up of the three leaders together, like Traore, Abdurrahman, and Assimi Goita, all the three leaders, and that gave me the sense of like they want to really push this unity, and they want it to be imprinted in the average person, because everywhere I'm going, I'm seeing the three of them together, instead of, you see, like whenever you go to any country, for the most part, you'll see maybe the president or the prime minister's picture in offices or um, roads. But these countries, I'm not sure about Burkina Faso, I'm not sure about Niger. Please, someone comment down below. But in Mali, it was the three leaders. Everywhere you go, you'll see them. And that was a clear message to me that they want to show us that they're united. And through that, the beauty is that they're going to encourage and they're going to prove or show their own people that we're one. And that's what we want. That is what we want, unity. The word in in paper is that, but in reality is this what they're doing. And well done to them, and may God protect them, because they're really doing God's job, in my opinion. I know people, look down on them because they are in power through, let's say, military coup d'etat, but what they're doing and how their people feel about them tells me everything I need to know about them. So yeah. Jerome said, or Jerome maybe said, I stand with AES all the way from Jamaica. Oh, thank you. Me too. I love Jamaica. I've never been, but I don't know if you know, but growing up, because we heard a lot about Jamaicans, uh, at least in my country, we think of Jamaicans as like the coolest people ever. That's how they're portrayed. You're portrayed. So yeah, thank you for commenting. Um, Mali has the BIR, like the VDP in Burkina Faso. What does that mean? I'm sorry, Aaron. I'm not clear on what that means. ECOWAS has been working on a task force of 1,500 for some time. AES did it within a year. That's the beauty. That's the beauty of these people. They're not about talk. They're not about pleasing us with words. I used to be pleased with words. Like I remember I would say 5 years ago, whenever a leader is saying something beautiful, like they are saying something that will help us, or positive, let's just say motivational speakers, I used to be so in awe, respected. I still do if you're walking the talk, but just words might not mean much right now from everything that I've seen within this few years. If you're not really doing and just saying, what exactly are you doing? Like at some point you have to also do, not just say, right? So yeah, AES has shown us, the Sahel Alliance have shown us that it can be done. And it's not just like, it's so hard. It's so hard for us to do this and that. Look at Nigeria. I'm sorry if I keep mentioning Nigeria, but it's a recent memory. That's why I keep saying that. Like, Bola Tinubu sent troops to Benin, next door neighbor, to thwart a coup d'etat that was happening. He sent troops, and he was more than able and willing to do that because he had the troops. But when it comes to his own country, it's so hard for him to fight insurgencies, to fight terrorist groups. And he's asking for help from France, from Macron. Macron is struggling on his own. Like, his own people, his own farmers are littering and throwing cow crap all over his home. Like, he is going through it right now. He's not even the most popular leader. So how are you asking France, who's in shambles, for help when you had the means to send through troops to a neighboring country, Benin? So it's like, do you really need help? Is it something else? Are you really acting? Are you really like doing what you're supposed to do? If you are doing what you're supposed to do, maybe your people would not be facing what they're facing when it comes to the insecurity. So yeah, that's mind-boggling. ECOWAS have been trying to do that, but as you said, Sahel region just launched it immediately. I love that for them. Well done to them. Aren said now they're building roads all together. We've also seen them work with what is it called, air what is the telecommunication, by forcing their telecom to take away the tariff. You know how when you're calling from one country to another country, it charges you more. So they are removing that as well, so they can communicate easily. They're doing great. Um, Bibi said, without a strong military, um, and a vulnerable Africa needs better priorities and a strong military. I agree with you. And military is the thing. Like, you look at other countries, and Western countries especially respect those countries because of their military power and how strong they are and how they won't bow down. So for us, we can't just be the soft people that are always saying yes sir, yes sir. And that's the case. Like, you can also see it in our individual, like, individually, when you look at us, not just as a society, but how we're raised. It's like, i- you have to be nice even when they're not nice to you, and that's not gotten us far. I'm not saying let's be evil, mean, rude, but I'm just saying, self we need to respect ourselves. Like, self-respect comes first, and we, as long as we're sovereign nations, we need to develop our militaries. We need to have stronger protection, because unfortunately, as much as um, we depended on foreign troops before, we've seen that it doesn't get us far. So you need to be stronger. You need to be able to stand tall and say no when something wrong is happening. But unfortunately, that's not the case for many countries as we speak. But things are changing. Hello, Renz. Welcome. B. Empress said, finally, Africa has kicked the colonizer of the continent and doing for self. Yes, 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 yes. I agree with you. It's a beautiful, great news. And yes, this is how it starts. This is the first step. This is not just for these three nations that I just talked about, but for others as well. Now, other people will start questioning their governments. Okay, so when are we joining the Sahel region, the Sahel, yeah, alliance? When are we gonna do what they're doing? When are we kicking out foreign troops? They are, whether we like it or not, they are influencing others, and that's why some leaders are afraid. They are even concocting allegedly fake coup d'etats to continue to be in power, but like in a different way, to make us believe that this is another Captain Ibrahim Traore, when it's someone that the leader handpicked to be in that position. So they're clearly doing the right thing, because people are panicking. Nations are doing the most in order to silence them, keep them where they are. Trump just recently announced a few days ago that he has put a ban in travel from Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, but a few other countries as well. I believe Sudan was in there. I believe DRC was in there. A few more countries, and a lot of them were African countries, by the way, of course. The crown prince said, when being a guest in someone's house, shut the F up. It's as simple as that. Yeah, but that's not how they roll, because they have this superiority complex as well. Don't forget that white supremacy, it doesn't only show up, in the Western world. It shows up in Africa as well. It's just we don't see it directly. What they do is they present themselves in such a way that, I'm helping you, I'm here to be your brother, I'm here to cooperate. But that's not the case. That's not how they do it. That's not been the case even during colonization. That is not the case even now, when we think we're free. And that's just the way they are. And unfortunately, okay, I don't know if it's an unfortunate thing, but a lot of us here on the continent, we were taught that we need to respect our guests. We need to listen to our guests. We need to treat them with respect. Like, if I can give you an example, in a lot of households here, when a guest comes to your house, you leave your bedroom as a kid. Like, you leave your bedroom and the guest sleeps on your bed when you sleep on the couch or something. That's how much, like, our parents will make sure that we respect the guests. So imagine you have that mentality, and someone like a Western nation with their troops come as a guest, how much they will take advantage of you. So, hello, Kellen. Aaron said they have the IES Bank and the IES Television News. Okay, go, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. Um, Kellen said, wish ECOWAS would join them. They will never. They will never, ever join them. But what my hope is, or at least what I believe might happen, is countries from ECOWAS, like let's say they get a good leader, or one of these coups is a legitimate coup where they are for the people, they might ask to join them. Senegal was showing some interest, well, not directly, but they were, but we haven't heard anything from them afterwards. So maybe countries will start leaving the ECOWAS and then joining them, but I do not see ECOWAS joining them at all. But good, we're glad, you know. Wangari said, "Hi, sis Wengel." Hello, Wangari. Aaron said, "Thank you for the super chat. Please interview Andrade TV. He's an AIS analyst. I do not know Andrade. Thank you for the recommendation. I hope I don't forget. Maybe I'll write it down just so I don't forget who that is. I've never watched that person. You said Andrade TV. Okay. Thank you for the recommendation. Would love to look into that." Bibi said, "I haven't found a suitable African country so far. Maybe a couple of us will visit Malawi next." Cool. Trial and error. Try uh, most of the countries and let's see where you land. And I wish you all the best, Bibi. I hope you find a place where you really feel like you belong. Because I can only imagine how hard it is, especially, I believe you're from the US, if I'm not wrong. Because earlier you said FBA. So, yes, you are from the US. So I can only imagine how much of a culture shock it is for you. Like I am Ethiopian, and moving around in the African continent, I still get culture shock because we're so different in so many ways. We're one, but we're also different even within Ethiopia. We have 80 plus tribes. Whenever you go from the south to the north, from the west to the east, there's so many different cultures. That's what makes us unique and beautiful, but that can also mean that it will take time for you to get used to the culture of that person or the language. So be patient, take it one step, one country at a time, and I'm sure you'll figure it out. Aaron, oh, you were responding to Kellen. You said ECOWAS is too corrupt and it's funded by the EU. Exactly. They're not gonna do that at all. Um, Aaron said, Andrea DTV has video and images of what's going on in the front lines. I would love to see you guys do a video together on the. I would love that too. Thank you for the recommendation. I'll look into it for sure, and I hope they're English speaking as well. Now, the issue I have faced, at least me personally, is whenever news comes out of the countries like Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, because it's French. I find it hard. Like you either have to go to AI, and AI sometimes butchered it so much. Like when you're trying to translate, there's francophone countries, and the rest of most of African countries are anglophone. So it's kind of hard to get that language barrier sorted. But I'm sure we'll get there, and that's why I'm a huge advocate of having one language for Africa, and it could be Swahili, right? So yeah, I would love to talk to that person. I hope they also speak English because I do not speak French except for bonjour. Though I learned in school but never paid attention, never cared to learn. Kinda, I don't know if I regret it, but the only time I regretted it was when I went to Mali. I just couldn't communicate and I hated that. Um, Amazing Lovecraft said, Grand Rising, Grand Afternoon, beautiful Lady Wengil. How are you? I'm doing well, brother. Thank you for joining us today. Hope you're doing well as well. So wait, let me see. Oh, Aren, you're explaining to me. I think it's the Rapid Intervention Battalion. Okay, which is a volunteer force like the VDP, Volunteers for the Defense of the Homeland. I think that's why the FUAS is in Niger. Oh, thank you. Did not know that. Don't believe media. Your name is interesting. Stand unified. Support from Brooklyn. Thank you so much. Um, Dream said, Well, regarding what happened in Benin, Nigeria didn't do ish. It was all just a cover up. France did the bombing and operations. Well, yeah, we knew France was involved, and it was through France involvement that Nigeria did that and order that they did that. But remember, uh, 11 Nigerian troops were also caught in Burkina Faso, and Burkina Faso said they violated their airspace, so they detained them. They just recently released them after they apologized. So they were involved. Yes, they might have done it in cooperation with France, and maybe France led it, but they definitely was part of it. King Webb said also from Brooklyn, New York, hold the line. Hello, one black rose. Aaron said the currency is coming soon. They're working on the. Oh, I love that. I cannot wait to see the currency. Cannot wait, because that's also where the real change will come. Instead of depending on CFA franc, instead of depending for other countries like the US dollar, it's going to be significant for sure. Millicent said the countries of Africa could have been like the Arab oil rich countries, and their people is everyone prosper. Yes, that is what sucks. That sucks. You see it clearly in the Middle East how a natural resource can be used properly and accurately and make the people's lives better. Like they live like kings and queens. The locals, of course, like we all know how they treat their helps and African laborers that travel there, but their own people, the governments, take care of their people because of their resource. So that's sad to see how it can be used. Like you can see how it can benefit and how it has worked for other countries, but for us, yeah. Mimi Brown said, anytime you hold people accountable, it is taken as brash, rude. Yes, that is true. Um, I had said, I had 3 subscribers said, white people don't want a developed Africa as it could create a system that works better than democracy or communism. Gabriel said, ordinary Africans are tired of neocolonial domination, imperial financing systems, and exploitation. They are demanding total sovereignty and self determination without fear of all external powers. I agree with you. And God bless these brothers for also showing us that we can come together, not just on paper, not just in conversation, but actually on the ground. Amazing, Lovecraft said, to see us royal melanin skin tones, complexions of Black people worldwide, unifying in unity from USA to continent of Africa. Thank you, brother. Yes, unity is the key word here. And I'm so glad and I'm so proud to say that they are showing us that it can be done. And I hope that others follow. Arem said, we love you, and Gail. I love you too. Thank you so much, guys, for the conversation, for the interaction. Thank you, LQ. Black sovereignty, indeed. Thank you, everyone. I will see you tomorrow, same time. Stay blessed. Bye.